Hey guys, karibuni tena to yet another fantastic episode here at Kaluhi'S kitchen. It's always a joy to have you guys join me in all the cooking adventures I create. For today, we're going to make a chicken finger recipe. We've made fish fingers in the past and you guys always love them. This recipe has a beer butter and this other one is a classic that you guys always enjoy, and despite it being a 2017 recipe, you guys always love it, and I know the one we're going to make today will always be timeless as well. For the chicken finger recipe we're making today, we are also going to accompany it with an easy to make delicious mustard dip, and I'm really excited to get into it with you guys. To my returning subscribers, asanteni sana. I really, from the bottom of my heart, love you guys. And to my new watchers, after this video, I know 100% I'm going to earn your subscription. And if I'm being honest, you really should subscribe because this is the best place to be on YouTube. That said, guys, let's begin. Karibuni sana. We are always ready to get down into business at the start of each video. This recipe has two components, the dip and the chicken, and I want us to start with the dip. This is what you're going to need for the dip. They look like quite many ingredients, but they are not, and when they come together, especially flavor wise, they're going to just explode on your palate and you're really going to enjoy this one. The main ingredient for this dip is a mustard. The mustard that I'm using is Dijon mustard. You're going to get a variety of mustards when you go to the supermarket. Make sure you take Dijon mustard, and it's pretty cheap. There are various brands ranging from 200 bob to 1,000 shillings depending on the one you select. I chose the cheapest one because brand doesn't quite matter, it's still Dijon mustard. A bit of mayo for extra body, some honey for sweetness, and for the spices I chose to use, I'm going with some garlic, black pepper, oregano, pepper, and some smoked paprika. You see, for this dressing we have a bit of heat, we have a bit of sweetness, we have a bit of herbiness, and that will light up all areas of your tongue, and that's how you make an excellent dip. You need to play up on all flavors so that when you eat, all areas of your tongue light up and it gives you a nice exciting eating experience. That said, we're going to grab our pretty bowl, and to this bowl we're going to add in our Dijon mustard, followed by our mayo and then our honey. We're going to dump in our spices and then add our very finely chopped dhania, add a splash of lemon juice, and then mix it all up, and our dip is ready. Our dressing is now combined. It has the perfect consistency, and I love mustard as a color, and in this bowl I love how the color of the mustard really contrasts with the speckles of dhania that is in my bowl. Now that this is combined, we have to give it a taste test. Always use a different spoon from that you're mixing with. I think that's common sense, but let me just mention. So let's go in. Absolutely perfect. And when you make this at home, also ensure that you achieve balance, because that is very important for making a dip and pretty much anything you cook in your kitchen. You can taste the tanginess of the Dijon mustard as well as that of the lemon. You can taste the warmth of the honey. You can taste every single spice note, and as you swallow you can taste the mild heat of the chili, and that's how you achieve a beautiful dip. Every area of your tongue has to detect something, and every area of your tongue has to get a bit of excitement. That's how you make an excellent dip. With regards to the consistency, this is how thick mine is. You can make yours as light or as thick as you prefer, but for a dip it needs to be light because you're dipping something into it. If it's too thick, it becomes a bit cakey, so make sure you get this exact consistency as well. Now that our dip is done, we're going to set it aside and then reach for the other ingredient for this recipe, and that is our chicken. As you can see, mine marinated overnight. Kama kawaida, we always marinate any meat we cook, and the marination is important because it allows the flavor to get into the meat and for the meat itself to have flavor as well. For this recipe, I chose to go with chicken breast, and before marination, I sliced my chicken into thin strips. As for the ingredients I used to marinate my chicken, I first dumped my chicken into my bowl, and then I added my set of spices, that's ginger, cumin, paprika and dried oregano, and then I added my fresh rosemary. Dried rosemary would also still be fine, and then my finely chopped garlic. I then added balsamic vinegar and then gave everything a nice mix, and once everything was combined, I shut my tin and then let it marinate in my fridge overnight. You can use any kind of vinegar, but to me, balsamic vinegar is the Beyonce of vinegars. Like, it's just beautifully full-bodied, and it's just excellent for this. You can use apple cider vinegar, you can use red wine vinegar, any other vinegar except white vinegar. I hope that's clear. Anyway, now that we are done with that, our marinade is still going. Our chicken has now come to room temperature, and what we're going to do next is we're going to pour in some mala, which will form the coating, which will form the glue with which the breadcrumb will stick onto our chicken, and then we'll proceed to fry. To my foreign watchers and readers, in case you don't have mala in the country with which you reside, you can use kefir, you can use amasi, you can use buttermilk. It's a very versatile ingredient. I always have mala in my fridge. You can use it for both sweet recipes, you can use it for savory recipes, you can drink it straight. I love my mala. So that said, we're going to pour in our mala, give it a mix, and then proceed to the next step. Now our chicken is nice and beautifully coated, and it looks really nice. The mala will not only allow the breadcrumbs to stick onto the chicken, but it will also ensure that the chicken remains nice and juicy through the frying process, and that will ensure that you have nice juicy chicken fingers at the end of this, whether you choose to have them for lunch or dinner. Now that this is done, we're going to set it aside and then bring to the forefront the ingredients we're going to use for coating. And over here I have some breadcrumbs, some coriander spice, cumin spice, and some dried oregano. As you can recall, we have some dried oregano in the dressing we just made a few minutes ago, and we also have cumin as one of the key ingredients that we use to marinate our chicken. That means there'll be a beautiful synergy of flavors from the dressing to the coating to the chicken, because they all have common ingredients, be it one ingredient or two ingredients. And it is because of that commonality that you'll have a beautiful synergy of flavors, and everything will just explode in your mouth musically, like a nice beautiful rhythm, because there's commonality in the dressing, in the coating, and in the chicken. That said, we're now going to dump in the spices that will make our breadcrumbs seasoned, and then we're going to give it a nice toss. We're going to then take our chicken, allow it to get coated in the seasoned breadcrumbs, and then we're going to proceed to fry. Once that is done, we're going to come back here to plate and conclude this video. We are now done, guys, and as you can see right in front of you, the most beautiful plate mountains of the most delicious chicken fingers you will ever try. And you guys, you know, I always say on Twitter, as you cook, you should always clear your sink so that you don't have a lot of work at the end. But today I actually stopped after the first batch to sit and eat, because it was just so delicious. And I'm so excited about this recipe, guys. You have to try this out, and I'm equally as excited to share it with you, because I not only know it will be spectacular for you, but I know this recipe will be perfect for fussy toddlers. It's perfect for game day for you and your friends as you watch your football. It's perfect for a picnic date. It's perfect for a night in while you're watching your movies. It's just perfect for each and every occasion. I already gave this a taste test while I was cooking, but we have to taste it once more together with you guys. Let me set this aside, grab this other plate just for tasting. Let me take this one, dip it in the dip we already made. Oh my god, guys, look at how sexy it is. I will never get over how delicious this is. Let's taste this again. Oh my, honor too. It's freaking fantastic, and it's absolutely perfect. You can taste the fullness of the dip, which I think really brings the chicken fingers to life. There's beautiful synergy between the dip and the crust of the fingers and the juiciness of the meat itself. The outside is nice and crunchy, the inside is nice, juicy and tender. The dip itself is nice and full-bodied. It's so excellent, and everything just explodes in your mouth. This, guys, you are all going to enjoy it. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, can't wait to see you guys try this out. Don't forget, kama kawaida, the exact recipe quantities are listed on my blog, link on description box. Try this out for yourself, for your babies, with your boo, with your neighbors, everyone, and I guarantee you, you're all going to really enjoy this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you're yet to subscribe, please do. There's so much goodness on this channel, and I wouldn't want you to miss out. See you on my next video, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Bye.